This is Werner de Jager, a South African man who once lived what appeared to be a peaceful life with his wife, Liezel, a beloved pastor in the town of Amanzimtoti, which is located just south of Durban in KwaZulu-Natal. But behind closed doors, their marriage was far from perfect. When Liezel was found brutally murdered in their home, all eyes turned to Werner. As shocking details of life insurance policies, a staged crime scene, and a mysterious disappearance came to light, the case took a dark and twisted turn. But Werner's story didn't end there. His involvement in a deadly accident, a controversial arrest, and his shocking death while in custody only deepened the intrigue. On the morning of October 13, 2021, the tranquil suburb of Athlone Park in Amanzimtoti was shattered by a gruesome discovery. Liezel de Jager, a beloved 38-year-old pastor, was found brutally murdered in the driveway of the rectory she shared with her husband, Werner, and their 2 young children. Liezel had just returned from her morning jog when her life was violently taken. She was found with strangulation marks on her neck, and her throat had been slashed. Werner de Jager, Liezel's husband, was the one to find her body. He immediately alerted the security company, but suspicions quickly arose. Despite his claim that an unknown intruder had killed his wife, investigators began to focus on Werner. Liezel's murder was not just a tragedy, but a mystery that would unravel in shocking and unexpected ways. Just 10 days after the murder, on October 23, 2021, Werner went missing. His father-in-law, Henk van Zyl, who had already harbored suspicions about Werner's involvement in his daughter's death, reported him missing. Werner's sudden disappearance added fuel to the growing suspicions surrounding the death of his wife. He was found 4 days later in a serious condition, having overdosed on medication, sitting in his vehicle, which was parked in a sugarcane plantation on a nearby farm. The overdose was deemed a suicide attempt, and Werner was airlifted and taken to the hospital. Werner's dramatic reappearance did little to allay suspicions. If anything, it deepened them, as the sequence of events appeared increasingly orchestrated to escape justice. In another tragic turn of events, Werner was implicated in a hit-and-run accident on April 15, 2023, that claimed the lives of 2 women in the Free State. The victims, 54-year-old Linda Eels and her 84-year-old mother Bernice, were traveling on the N1 highway when Werner's Honda sedan rear-ended their Toyota Fortuner at high speed. Both women were killed in the collision. Werner, who suffered minor injuries, provided false information to the police and quickly became unreachable after his discharge from the hospital. The police investigation was hindered by the false details Werner had provided, further complicating the case.
Let's now move to Amanzimtoti in eThekwini, where a man accused of killing his pastor's wife 2 years ago will remain in police custody until next year. Werner de Jager stands accused of murdering Reverend Liezel de Jager in 2021. She was the first female pastor for the NG Kerk, Saitkas in Amanzimtoti. Her husband was arrested last month. Newsroom Africa's Reverend reports.
In November 2023, nearly 2 years after Liezel's murder, Werner was arrested in Bloemfontein. The case had languished in limbo for much of this time until Action Society, a civil organization, applied pressure, prompting the National Cold Case Unit to take over the investigation. Werner's arrest marked a turning point, with the original Schedule 5 murder charge upgraded to a Schedule 6 charge on January 24, 2024. The escalation was due to new evidence suggesting that Liezel's murder was premeditated. Werner's bail application was denied in February 2024 by Magistrate Zaman Yuswa, who cited overwhelming evidence against him. The magistrate noted that releasing Werner could jeopardize the case, as he was likely to skip bail and interfere with witnesses. During the bail hearing, it was revealed that Werner was also a suspect in the strangulation death of a woman in the United Kingdom in 2010. This revelation added another dark layer to Werner's already grim narrative, painting a picture of a man with a troubling past. Adding to the mounting evidence against Werner was his attempt to benefit financially from Liezel's death. 2 months before her murder, Werner had taken out life insurance policies in Liezel's name, totaling 3.29 million South African rands. He was the sole beneficiary of these policies and attempted to claim the payout shortly after her death. The state alleged that the motive for Liezel's murder was financial gain, pointing to the life insurance policies as the primary evidence of premeditation. Werner's financial troubles were no secret. He had been placed under debt review, and Liezel's family had financially supported the couple in the past. Court documents and statements from Liezel's father shed light on the troubled marriage between Werner and Liezel. The couple's relationship had deteriorated significantly in the years leading up to Liezel's death. They were reportedly sleeping in separate bedrooms, and Werner had previously attempted suicide in 2015, an event from which their marriage never fully recovered. Liezel's father described Werner as a liar and a man who was a risk to himself and others. He revealed that Werner had struggled to maintain steady employment and often relied on Liezel for financial support. Werner's story came to a sudden end on April 15, 2024, when he died in custody at King Edward VII Hospital in Durban. The Department of Correctional Services confirmed that Werner had been admitted to the hospital on April 5, 2024, following medical complications. Despite the official cause of death being under investigation, sources close to the case suggested that Werner had died of a drug overdose, possibly a final, successful attempt to escape the consequences of his actions. Werner's death left many questions unanswered and brought a tragic close to a case that had gripped the nation. The story of Werner and Liezel de Jager is one of love turned sour, a marriage that unraveled in the most violent and tragic way, leaving behind a trail of devastation and heartbreak. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to see more of our content, please hit the subscribe button.